Alright, Booty, so I know we're having problems with this track here, so I'm gonna give you a little setup guide. Not really a setup guide. I should say it's more of a, more of an assist, or how to drive this track. And other tracks in general, but this one more so. There we go, that's fine. That's a little bit, yeah, that's fine, I don't care anymore. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to use the setup I gave you a few days ago. Which is that one. So you know I'm not cheating you. And yeah. Actually, now I'm going to go a little bit down the rear wing. Keep that 4.7. So here we go. So the first part you're going to see on this track so you want to brake right about, probably back up a little bit here. You're coming in, you should probably start braking around the 100 marker right about there, but not too hard, off the gas more so. About the 50, probably about a few beams before the 50 meter marker, braking point. You want to full on apply the brake, but not too hard. So when it comes through here at enough speed, you can ride the curbs, not that dangerous. You can kind of angle your turn about there, be fine. You want to ride this curb all the way around it as long as you can. So you want to be on the right side of that curb. The curb here is dangerous. This part right here, that'll bump you all day long, as you can tell. It's bumping right now. But if you can get around it, how far wide I am now? Too far wide now. If you can get around it and get a nice exit point there, and get wide enough to barely be on it and be like this, you're golden. Same here. That's too far wide. But you get my point. Use the green part of the curb, not the yellow green part. This is a really tricky part of the track, slash section of the track right here. Braking points, depending on how your car setup, is going to be different. I like to brake a little bit earlier than recommended just because it's hard to carry speed through here. So about 150, a little bit, see a little sign, the X sign is up there, the exit F. Right around there you can start to kind of brake, not too much though. 100 you want to be full on braking. And again, it's really hard to brake through there, but once you get through there, you can ride the curb. Don't take this exit curb that much. You don't want to take that much exit curb because, as you can tell, it really messes you up, but also because you want to be going wide into this turn. And you want to go wide into this turn largely because of the way the turn is formulated. So you go wide in the turn, as you can see, bumpy curves, like no other. And you want to get off those as much as possible too, so you want to kind of go what you call it. You want to go wide into that curve for that reason. Because if you take a longer line, I'll show you right here. We'll back up together. That's good. Almost across. There we go. So if you go across, and say you exit wide here, you take a high exit curve, come out this way. If you brake early, this is going slow. If you brake early, you get a lot of that curb right there and back over. I lose you a ton of speed. If you can kind of just stay off of that curb right there, particularly this far curve, the further one out, not the one that's, not this one. This one's fine to take for the most part. If you can avoid this one at all costs, or at least hit it going this way, or like kind of the middle of the car, you're more so fine. If you go over it and have to go back over it again like that, you're really in trouble. So try to stay at least parallel to that curb. Through here, you kind of don't want to take a narrow curve. You kind of want to go through this section wide, right through here, to keep you in line with this curve right here, which you want to get all green of and exit through there. If you get through that perfectly, it's going to really increase your time. like I said, the yellow and green curbs here are really dangerous. If you can stay off them, you're pretty much fine. The braking point through here, head of my mouth. The braking point through here, I kind of just brake after that spot right there, where the wall kind of extends by the F and X sign again. It's up to you. I kind of brake in wide, swoop in, take as much curb, even the grass as possible, because like I said before here, the curbs are dangerous. There's not much of a green curb to take after that turn, so I try to avoid that curb at all costs. In general, I just come through here, braking point, battle under the 100-meter sign. Take no curb through here. You can take curb through here if you want. Time doesn't really matter that much, but I like to try to avoid it just because here you want to brake and softly back into the gas. You can kind of skip through there. It validated my time, as you can see, but you kind of want to go through there as fast as possible, and you can cut that line a little bit too and be fine. I honestly found too much of it, so you guys do will. I'm going to go through here pretty fast paced and get an idea, because I'm going through this as I'm on the top of my head. So I'm going to go through here. DRS open. Make sure you get traction. Brake hard, off the gas, boom. Yeah, avoid that curb. Take that one, boom. Pretty good. Brake hard. Now see, I better took that curb. I lost a full 10 right there. I was losing time off that time. I'm losing. I was about 0.150. Now I'm about, yeah, no time I'm on now. But I lost about a full 10th and a half just hitting that curb. That's how much cost you in a race there. We're going to be fast country here. Just wait. Yeah, I'm messing with DRS, but yeah, just and this setup too that I have is also geared to a lot of downforce, so it should be easy to heat these turns fairly fast. Going in right now. Curve right there. See how much time I get out of that? Just no curve. Almost half a turn. More curve there, if I had to. Still on the green. No green's right here though, I don't even. Oh, I didn't miss. See, look how clean a run through there gained you so much time. That's what it just did to me. I mean, I gained almost a full second at best time through here.
Okay, the time last lap was at 1 minute 22.1.
So yeah, you just want to basically stay off the curb as much as possible. If you do hit the curb, try to get on the green part of the curb, not the other part of the curb, otherwise you'll be SOL. And go wide too as possible, because the wider you go through these turns, the more you have a chance to get the car around. If it's being too much for you, in terms of like too hard for your turn for some reason, I'd recommend upping your front wing to a 5 just for right now. if the rear is still at 8, try it at 7. It won't help you as much in terms of the back end of the car, but the front end of the car, you have more stability and more turning radius because you have more front wing. Transmission, if you're getting loose out of the turns, you shouldn't be, because I can handle it just fine. Try to lock it a little bit more. That's dangerous because it rears tires a little bit too. So just make sure you try to keep it close to 50 as possible. 55 is good-ish. This it wouldn't touch. If it's being a problem for you at all, suspension, you can make it a little bit firmer to go with the bumps. If the curbs are too much for you and you can't avoid them at all costs, because you can see mine's all set to a soft setting, but it means that you're gonna be more jittery going over the curbs. So if you want to retain some of that speed, make it a little bit more firmer, maybe like a 4.8, or even like a 6.8 or a 6.6 around there. I've used this before in the past, a 6.6 or a 5.6. Doesn't really do much difference. Yeah. Front height. Increase that a little bit. That'll give you more clearance over the curbs. A 2.4 is good at any track, pretty much for the most part. Because you have to understand you have a full fuel load on your car, which that's going to carry a lot of fuel, so it's going to weigh down the car a little bit. Yeah, so maybe a 2.4 if you have a full fuel load. You get a little more clearance over those bumps. Braking, if you're having a problem braking, add a little front bias, but then again, you're going to lock up a little bit more if you do that, so it's up to you. And the tires, I wouldn't change much as they already are, so yeah.